Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Had a little bit of time, so I'm bringing you a video on our favorite project, Elrond. We're going to take a look at the technical analysis. We're going to take a look at some of the big news, the MEX-DEX, and finally a little bit about the NFTs. Because dang, I went into the woods for 4 days camping, came back out, and I was like, what? So scrolling down on CoinMarketCap, we're up at number 25 with a market cap of 8.6 billion. We're down 4% last 24 hours and up 42.45 at the time of this video in the last 7 days. So pretty exciting, sitting right around 439 right now. Big price action for it. So why did this happen and where are we going from here? So taking a closer look at the chart, getting into some technicals, this was all triggered by some news. And there's a couple articles that even came out about it. And the news is about the MEX-DEX exchange. So you can see here, here's one website talking about it skyrocketing 60% in 3 days following news on liquidity incentive program. And not only, there's already information out about the MEX-DEX exchange. However, this news was that it will be funded with $1.3 billion of incentive to get on there and start harvesting rewards and adding liquidity on the exchange. Super cool, and I actually just recently got into it and I'm farming right now an EGLD-MEX pairing on there. And I'll drop a video to that here at some point later on the video to who I followed for that tutorial because he did a great job explaining it. And his name's also Dan, so you can't go wrong. Now, this news basically was covering information about Elrond as well, which is great, bring more news to it, bring more people and awareness to it. But the biggest part of it on why the price really boosted was Benjamin, CEO, said today is the day MEX-DEX going live, unveiling Elrond Superwave, a 1.29 billion USD liquidity mining incentive program for 1 year with 282 million for the first month. So getting into the first month, you get about 20% of it already. So the sooner you get into this liquidity mining pool, and the sooner you get into their exchange and adding liquidity to it, the more incentive, the more rewards you get. So your rewards are going to go down. So that's why it's better to get in sooner so you can get more rewards. Now, don't get me wrong, liquidity farming and this type of stuff is very risky. You typically have to lock your coins in if you want more rewards, although you can leave them unlocked. But I want to let you know, this is just not financial advice. This is my opinion, covering some cool stuff on Eagle and what they got going on. So those two news articles is kind of what took the price of EGLD when it was released over here and just made it go woo, right up, you know, straight up the slope. And almost in a way, this is unhealthy in a certain sense because it went up so fast. And that's why we saw when it peaked out way up here, we saw some corrections, you know. Some of those news articles came out, I think around 492. Cali. And then we had a couple of bouncing corrections up and down here. And I have a little bit of a theory for this related to how the MEX-DEX exchange works, in that you're swapping. If you're going to do an Maiar, if you're going to do an EGLD-MEX pairing, you have to swap about half of your EGLD for the MEX token, and then you stake both of them. However, when you're doing that, in a way, you're selling, swapping, taking EGLD out, and then you're getting a different token MEX. But then again, more people are buying EGLD so they can get into it for swapping it. So there's some buying and selling of EGLD going on and volumes going up and down and up and down.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, please.
And that's kind of, I think, why we saw, especially with the, you know, after news, after it wears away, you see the price go down. So that's kind of why we started to bounce around and make some lower lows here. But the lower lows and the highs, the swing of them is starting to steady out a little bit. There's a little bit of resist or support we're holding right here. There's another strong support just below it right now at about 420, 418. So, you know, I'm hoping if we come up here and we come down, maybe we'll hold 418 or 420 and not go any lower than that. Maybe just a little more steadying it out. There's even more support strong over here. you can see it held this for about a day, almost less than a day, at around that level of that 390, 388. So if it dips below that, hopefully it holds that. But either way, you know, that's up massively from where it was just hanging out around that 300, high 200 mark for a while. So this was a pretty big catalyst for it to go up. But that's some of my thoughts on some of the technicals here and why we're bouncing up and down related to the exchange, and just some good levels of support that we can keep an eye on, and then, you know, start moving back up. A lot of this is predicated obviously on Bitcoin price. We've had some interesting stuff going on with Bitcoin lately, and, you know, a lot of everyone's goals that was initially 100,000 by end of year have now switched gears, saying, you know, Bitcoin's eating turkey or something, and it's, you know, just gonna chill out and maybe not ramp up as crazy as everyone thought. You know, other thing is, you know, it's getting towards the holidays. People, you know, maybe cashing out crypto for gifts, stuff like that. You know, just a thought. Let's get in a little bit to what does everyone think about Elrond going towards the holidays, and are we going to go back up? So surprisingly, actually, the majority of people voted, well, only 1,800 people voted here, CoinMarketCap, that they really think it's going to go down to about 390, drop back, you know, to a little bit more of a healthy level from where it initially ramped way up. I actually was just estimated that it would just drop down to that other layer of support, that 418, 420 possibly. However, there's other stuff coming up with this launch pad as well. And just the amount of information on the Twitter that they have, and they keep this so up to date. I highly recommend following them on Twitter because they've got very concise goals and roadmaps and updates lined out for you. But I mean, you scroll through here, I could read this for a while, but definitely go check them out, follow them on Twitter, because all their goals and ambitions are on here. And, you know, they're just so huge about the end user. And you can tell with the way that they made the Maiar exchange, it was actually fairly simple to go through to do it. You get the Maiar app, you have, you go into the Maiar exchange site. I'll pull it up right now. So here you go, you pull up onto the Maiar exchange website, Maiar.exchange, and all you really need to do to get into this liquidity farming and this incentive and getting these rewards is you can start out with going to the swap, and you would take your EGLD and you could swap it for MEX, and you do about half of that, right? And then you go into liquidity and you'd add that liquidity of the max amount of your MEX. You'd max out the MEX, and it would be about, you know, half of your EGLD, because that's what you have, half MEX, half EGLD, and leave a little bit of EGLD for transfer fees. And you would go add liquidity, and then it would let you say stake, and it would let you go in right into going to your farm, where you could do the EGLD-MEX farm, where the APY right now is technically more than 10,000% if you're claiming your rewards and reinvesting them as well, because you can claim your MEX out and then reinvest it. And that's also a lot of time when you lock it too. And when you're locking it up, you're locking it up for a year, but you're still harvesting out your investments and your rewards. So it's pretty crazy, 10,000% APY. I mean, that's just nuts, right? There's a great video. He step-by-step goes through it, and his name's also Dan, and I'm gonna throw the link for it as a card right here. All right, so that's super exciting. Now, there's, you know, everyone's big onto this exchange, the liquidity incentive, and everyone's big on that for Elrond, and everyone's talking about that for Elrond. Going on in the background still, though, is Elrond NFT. So this ENFT, which I've mentioned previously, it's the first and original NFT creator for the Elrond network. And I jumped into their Discord a long while ago when we were first talking about Elrond stuff. And I was in the first 100, and I managed to get, because I was in there, you can see my profile picture bottom left here, one of these on-chain warriors, which is the very first NFT project on the Elrond network. And, you know, the OGs, the originals of some of these blockchains and networks just can often go absolutely viral and crazy. So I think slowly, you know, the team behind this is really great. Verification for me to do that was like a voice oath thing I had to go through. But pretty crazy, pretty cool. Check out Elrond NFT, check out their website, and, you know, their most recent project is this on-chain warriors. And it's definitely, and it's very simple. All the artwork was hand done, and it's just a really neat project. So you can check out their website too, the original NFTs for Elrond. you want to be at these types of things from the beginning, you know? So neat team, good project. Then they've got these bank vault stuff coming out here soon, a marketplace coming out here soon. Lots of neat things. So let me know in the comments what you think about Elrond, where you think it's going, any questions about Elrond, happy things, sad things, criticisms, complaints. Hit me up. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one.